guys, welcome back. This is Jay. Thank you for joining me for the not too shabby Christmas in July hop. This is a tag driven hop, so you can click down below on the hashtag N2S Xmas in July. That's Xmas with an X, not with a normal part. And yeah, let's get right into this. I decided to craft with the Plaids for Christmas pack and woo, the gingerbread ephemera pack. And I was inspired by a sketch from Kendra's Card Challenge 1. And then I was sort of realized that the card base I had picked, because I wanted to use sort of a cream one, and I have a whole pack of these, was actually 4x6 versus an A2. So I wound up cutting this panel down, and I did stamp Jingle All the Way here for a sentiment before we got started. And the original sketch used 8 of these sort of matted pieces, and I believe that the original used like the matting layer was an inch, and then these were 3/4. I think I miscut these, but I kind of like them a little bit bigger anyway. So my thought was rather than having two full rows, I would overlap these a little bit to leave some room down here because I wanted to use this piece of ephemera as sort of a, I don't know, as the focal point of the card. And I think I'm going to, before I get too far, potentially use a little bit of washi tape on the bottom, just to sort of add a little bit of bling. Also kind of make almost a road that the car would be driving on. So I'm just going to do that first. And what I'm going to do is just make sure this is more or less even. Is not all that even. Let's try that again. Whoops, about that much. That's better. Just going to, well, that's still not a lot of white space between the sediment. I'd like it with a little bit more, I think. As you can probably tell, this is not super sticky, but it should be sticky enough to adhere. So I'm just going to wrap this and then tuck in these corners. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of glue to glue these down. Probably won't matter, like, it won't matter that much long term because, you know, ultimately this is all going to be stuck onto the card base. But I'm just going to tack these down for now. Just flip this guy over and grab a better paper to paper glue. And I'm just going to get these squares glued down. I don't know about you guys, but I've been very excited for Christmas crafting. Primarily, that's because I do some charity sales in the local community here that benefit our local food bank. And I also do those with my mom, who is not a major card crafter, but does very much enjoy working in ceramics. So she generally sells her ceramics while I was doing some card making and card selling last year, um, which kind of is neat because sometimes people aren't really that familiar with our hobby. So when people have the ability to see it in real life, I think people sort of appreciate the cards more. Plus, it gives you something to do while you're, you know, there for a couple of days. So it's sort of a win-win for everybody. And now these are pretty tacked down. I'm using Lineco pH neutral, which is my glue of choice for everything paper, basically, because it will make life a lot easier. And I'm going to pull these a little off the side, but then after this one is down, and I may actually, yeah, so I'm going to do two up, two down. So this one would be the last one down. Actually, let me just figure out. I think I'm going to overlap about half of these. There we are. Whoop. This line code does a good job tacking down, although it still takes a while to permanently adhere, so I probably should have left these set, but this is basically what we're going to do. And then I am going to glue the whole base down here like this, and then we can finish this guy off. So this card came together pretty quickly. I'm just going to see if I want to just trim any little bits of the gold that are over hanging. Yeah, there we go. And I'm a big fan of the liquid glue, but you can, of course, also use dry adhesive if that is your preference. And then with the liquid glue particularly, it's a good idea to use a squeegee to basically make sure that the glue is smoothed out. There we go. And I know that in the shop, Barely Arts is used a lot, which is one of my favorite glues as well. So we will just glue this guy down, and we have some extra pieces left over for another project, but that's how the front of the card's going to look, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. So I'm just going to fold this back. And I've really been inspired watching a lot of Teresa's videos where she's decorating the inside of cards, which I almost never do, but I think this would be fun, where if we just sort of put a little gingerbread man holding a candy cane. It would just add a little bit more, I don't know, festivity to the whole card. And there we go. I think I'll just do it at an angle. Guess he's not so much holding it as like tossing the candy cane to you, but I really think that's cute, and that is how this all came together. And please click on the hashtag and check out all the other people who are making cool projects with not too shabby stuff today. Have a great one, and talk to you guys later.